Hello, Mr. Caleb.
Hey Justin,
How you
I
doing?
got I got me some Coke and rum.
Oh,
Curious what you're drinking today.
oh. Well, today on Sake and Sumo,
That is
I
a fancy
am.
little glass.
I know.
Let's
I
start with
got a
that
little.
before we go with what you're drinking. That is a fancy little glass.
Right? Isn't it cute? And so anyway, this is a sake from Japan. My student Ari, she keeps going back to Japan, and every time she goes, she brings me a bottle. A wonderful, wonderful student. This is actually her last name. Her last name is Midori Kawa, and that is Midori and Kawa. Kawa meaning river, and that's why it looks like three. It's three little lines. Pretty cool, huh?
That's freaking awesome. I
Anyways,
got I got some cool shit like that. Look, this was given to me by my stepfather before he passed.
ooh, whoa,
The light's not hitting it perfect, but yeah,
love that.
isn't this awesome? I've always wanted to use this and drink this.
I was
This
gonna
and I have
say
a
it needs.
fancy set that someone gave me once. And I was like, man, I'm gonna save this for Sake and Sumo when we're together. And I've forgotten every time since it's been 2 years now, ever since to forget to like bring it and then bring some sake and let's drink some sake together with the fancy set. It's
Yes.
gonna
Well, you
happen
got
one
five
day,
in
sir.
there. You got five in there. That's gonna have to be a whole. We can drink with John again. Shout out to John. Hope you're
Would
watching.
love it. He can't leave Hawaii at the moment, but
Hey, we'll go to
we
you.
love you. I'm going to Hawaii.
Yeah.
I have made it a thing. I've pointed out I'm going to Hawaii probably around September or so next year. I'm
And
going.
if you go, I'm going. And if we make this a thing, I will and I know I owe you guys a tattoo. I am so sorry. And I will.
Okay, he got a friend of his like working on it. You seen my little preview thing that
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
not a bad idea. I haven't actually worked out details. I just have like the idea so far. But he found
I
something that was like, hey, I got an artist friend in Vegas. Now I'll ask him to see if he can do it. And I was like, okay. Because I wanted you to do it, but you've been busy. It's understandable.
I've been stupid busy.
Mr. Coach USA. Uh,
There's but even more than just the coach. The whole, I'm the, I guess, marketing and whatever. Like, I don't know. I made like our freaking uh I just made our coaches thing.
I don't know
We
what that
call
means. And
no.
I'm from a family of coaches, so that's weird. I don't know what you're talking about.
I mean,
Literally, my dad was
no. Listen.
a coach.
So it's like this. Like I'll show you on I don't know. Oh, it doesn't want to download. Okay, never mind.
Don't worry about it. Just
iPad
what
needs-
explain what a coach's thing is. Help me with this.
It's just it's for Instagram, and so it's just to kind
Got
of
it.
let the USSF know who the coaches are, what kind of coach they are, or
Got
whatever.
it. Got it. Okay. It's okay. It's
Yeah,
like the marketing stuff kind of stuff.
like a
But
fight card kind of thing. And
okay.
the
Cool.
athletes will have it at some point in time.
Cool.
When the athletes will have it when we get a freaking uniform. Anybody in the USSF, can I please get approved to spend a little bit of monies on our uniforms? Just saying.
I
The
don't know.
coaches will pay for our polos itself, but Jesus, please give give me monies or give me I don't know, just give me approval and give me a card. I
I
don't.
don't know.
Anyway,
I
that's
have
my.
nothing to do with that. I have nothing to do with that. I know two people on the board, but I have nothing to do with that. Not the
I
board
know
office.
this board is better than it's ever been, so I can't totally complain. But does it still
And they're
move at
still
the?
fixing the shit from the past. That's gonna take a while.
Yeah, you
You
damn
know
right.
that. They got a lot of stuff to get through. You know that.
Well,
They got three new board members next year. So people from see no two, right? Two the way it works now. So next year USSF people
oh, this is
north
that
and
new.
south representative have to be voted in, and the president has to be voted in next year. So technically three
Yes,
people are going in next year. So that's important. It's important.
yes.
The us central and west are still they're still going to be good. Central and west will still be good. Be Karen and Christina Jones.
Yeah.
Okay, that's enough regular stuff. Let's jump into
Let's
pro.
jump into the pros.
Oh, just in case you don't know, hey, welcome to Sake and Sumo. I guess I didn't do that. Hi, Caleb. This is Justin,
Hello.
and we're here to talk about sumo. We got a little further off than I meant to. I try
I
not to
mean,
do that.
technically, we were talking about sumo.
Technically, we're talking about sumo, but today was supposed to be pro sumo. We do want to do a full amateur episode soon because there's been, I think, 3 tournaments since the last time we talked.
Amazing tournaments. Shout out to New York. That will be a topic of discussion next week. Fuck
Along
it.
with Tennessee and others.
Yep.
I enjoyed Tennessee a
Or
lot. He
Tennessee.
enjoyed New York a lot. We will talk about this. It's going to be fun. Um,
I'm becoming a
First,
fanboy of New York. I don't know why. I just
so
love it.
first we're going to go to pros, and it was a crazy, but both interesting and crazy tournament we watched. We're going to start on the negative side and go to the positive side, and then we're going to
Yeah.
end with something that's negative as hell. But let's start with the regular negative tournament side.
But negative. But and I'll say my
We'll get
opinion.
to that later.
Yeah. Sorry.
The
Let's
thing we're
start.
talking about negative wise is guys. Usually you have half the tournament with losing records. However, this is more than just a bunch of guys with 7 and 8s. The amount of people who went 6 and 9 or worse, and they're good wrestlers too, just was
Eh,
insane.
dude, it was a bloodbath, and not just a bloodbath of like, ooh, lower my god, like my gosh at a 10 and under. This was a bloodbath of top notch guys. It
Yeah,
was really bad. I counted about 18 Makikoshi, and only maybe like four of them were like that 7 and 8. Like they had a seven and
yeah.
seven, and
And most of those guys were near the top. You had like Abi, Wakamar. Oh my God.
Wakamoto Haru
I barely drank it all, guys. I don't know if I kept doing that. Oho got 7 and 8. Yeah,
and
people like that.
Tobizan. Yeah.
But a lot of guys, Ura, one of the favorites of sumo period. I'm about to say this channel, but truthfully, Japan, outside of Japan, anyone who watches sumo loves Ura. It's just a fact of life. He went 5 and 10. Uh, I think Hinka Daddy went like 4 and something. Let's see if I can.
Chio Shoma.
Yeah,
Yeah.
4 and 11.
Yep. That was pretty bad.
4 and 8.
Tonoyama 4 and 11.
Jeez,
What? Dude,
that's insane, guys.
but you know what? You know what? I will give it up to Mr. Mustard. On his debut, sure, he
He
didn't get
lost his first four.
yeah, but then he just like was killing it.
Yeah,
And so he had a rusty start, but I don't know. I don't know how far he would fall. I almost want to talk to like the Grand Sumo Breakdown guys because I really want to see how they do the math when half the pack really sucked. Like how do you create that shift?
well, they'll have an episode out, their predictions, and they'll probably talk a lot about this
That
in that
shift.
one because they work on it pretty hard. Like I don't have that. I used to have like a huge thing with my brain likes to work in this kind of stuff with sports, but now
Oh,
like I do one fantasy football team and that's it, and I'm pretty good at that. I usually get to the final four almost every year. I'm pretty good, and I don't even watch the football that much. But oh, the championship, I lost championship the last 2 years, but okay, yeah. So that happened, and it's also crazy how many people like did really well. Because if that many people did shit, then some guys were gonna have to get 9, 10s or more.
Yes.
Endo, his old ass has got 9 and 6.
I
Maysay went
know.
for 9 and 6.
Aonishiki
Oh
got
yes,
11 and 4. Good job, young man. The better of the two. On the flip side, Shishi got what? 4 and 11.
4 and 11.
Oh, he got exactly. Aonishi got 11 and 4. Oh. Ooh, do you think Shishi's gonna side note, sorry, do you think well no, not side note. We're still on the negatives.
Yeah.
Are Do you think Shishi is gonna drop out?
No, normally I would say yes, but look at the last few guys. After
Yeah.
Roga, even before Roga, Kota Shoho 6 wins, Rudin 5 wins. Uh, shoot, Kaio only had 7 and 8. Nishikishi got 6 and 9. Uh, Dad bod got 4-11. Like there's so many people who are gonna drop out. He's gonna drop low. I just don't think he'll drop. That's a guess, obviously.
He's a my gosh at a well, let's see. He's a my gosh at 11, and several people underneath him, Asakoryu,
Roga.
Oga, Nishikigi. Well, nah, not Nishikigi. Well, Nishikigi still did better than him. He lost, but still did better than him. Then you got what do you call it? And Indo. There's several people who maintained, and I just feel like all the people who sucked above him are gonna push like it kind of like push him down so
I think
that
they'll
they have
push
a
him down, but I
place.
don't think, like I said, there's also like 5 or 6 guys below him who've also had 6, 5, 4 wins. Like it's insane.
Yeah.
That's why I think he'll stay at the bottom. That's my guess. I think he's going to stay at the bottom. And there's a lot of people in front of him. Speaking of pushing, let's get to good.
Mm.
There's
Let's
a lot
get
of
to the
guys who
good.
killed it, but they got no place to go.
Who?
Uh, the guys like Anishiki and stuff who got like 10 or more wins,
Oh yeah.
except for Papayasu. Oh, everybody in the Senyaku ranks did great.
Yeah.
They did fantastic. In fact,
Daisho 10 and 5, which is pretty awesome.
yeah,
Sekiwake, Kirishima, surprisingly, and I this was the most excited I've been about Kirishima in a while now. He kind of, I don't know,
he looked pretty damn good. He looked close to his old self.
he looked great. I know he did he get like a hit in the eye or something or a shiner or
Yeah,
something.
he had something, and he had to cover it. I'm pretty sure it was like a cut that they didn't want to open up again
Yeah,
while
yeah.
fighting. Uh,
Well, he
yeah,
looked
him.
amazing. Shout out to you, aka Eric.
Let's throw this down. Him, Kirishima,
Waka.
Daisho, Waka Takakage are all on a Ozeki run.
Hmm.
I think Daisho needs a lot. I think he needs his 20 wins. So if he would need a 13 wins to hit the magic number
Oh
next
wow.
time. The other
Okay.
two, I think, still need another tournament after this. But if they do 10 or better next time, they're going to be in the next one, their chance to do it. You know what
Yeah, yeah,
I'm
yeah, yeah.
saying? In fact,
Dude,
I'm curious. We talked about the bottom. I'm curious what they're going to do with Wakata Kage because he had 12 wins. Normally, you would open up a Sekawake spot, but there's almost no Kobasubis or anyone who looks like they should be Kobasubi.
right. Where can he go? He
Where can
just
he
has to
go? I
sit
don't.
sit in limbo. I mean, you can have three Sekiwakis, but
You can. That's what I'm
I
saying.
think
Normally, you
they
open up a
don't.
spot, but you also have like good Komasumis behind it. I don't know if they'll do that, even though 12 wins is something they'll normally do because 12
Yeah,
wins is huge. That's
yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah. I know. Well, we will see on that. I mean, I'd love for any one of these guys in the Sanyaku to become Ozeki. I think God,
All
it's
any of them, I feel like could be a great Ozeki. I want with Wakatakage the most because we thought he'd be Ozeki before any of these guys pre-injury, and it took
I
him
think
what? It took him like 2 years to get back to the spot.
as to this date, like he's been consistent, currently consistent.
Yeah.
Uh and Kirishima, as we saw, was, he had several not so great bashos. Koto Zakura has had several not so great bashos.
No, he's barely hanging on.
He's
He's
skating.
getting those 8, but he's like barely getting those 8.
It's
He's
skating.
walking a line that he's doing his best to do it, and I'm proud of him for fighting so hard. But
But even some of those wins, dude, even some of those wins were kind of like, whew, they were like just barely, like he didn't look pretty. Like it was a messy kind of like shit, I barely won by a toe kind of wins on a few of them.
oh
Uh,
yeah,
Taisho
yeah,
looked really strong, and he looked like his feet were finally stable. That's great. Papayasu on the flip side, his feet looked terrible.
no, he looked like he could not keep it. But that's been
Oh,
his thing.
he was like,
For the last, what,
"Ugh."
3 years, I want to say, since he's gotten older, he can
But then
come into this
what happened
amazing
last ball
tournament.
show? The
That's what I
last ball
want.
show, he was magical.
Let me fucking talk.
Sorry, sorry,
He's been
sorry.
doing this for like 3 years now, where once or twice a year. Looks like he can even win a basho, but then the next basho, his body just can't hold up. He can't do it multiple bachos in a row anymore.
Yeah.
At 30, what, 33, 34, whatever he is now.
Is wild. 33, 34.
He's mid
That's,
30s.
prime
He
to
also
me.
does, he doesn't look mid 30s. He looks like he's 48.
Yeah.
He's one of those
It-
guys.
it's taking a toll on him.
He
It's
doesn't
taking a
look
toll.
young. But yeah, okay. So yeah, I'm excited to see how the bomb's going to shape up and how the top's going to shape up.
Yep.
Um, let's talk about the happiest thing that happened, the thing that we were afraid to talk about,
Oh, la, la, la.
a guy that me and Justin, saw lose the heavyweight championship at World Games. We saw him
Yep.
lose.
It
Granted, he
was,
went on to win open weight.
and it was a really slick. For those, I don't know if the
I
videos are
will
still
try to
out
find
there.
it, but I doubt I'll be able to find it. But yeah.
I mean, it was, Daiki was definitely, or sorry, Yokozuna Onosato. I apologize. Uh, Onosato at the time, Daiki like was, I mean, physically the favorite. Like, I mean, his sumo was beautiful. It was awesome. But then Hanada, who now plays American football here in the
For
U.S.,
Colorado State, yeah.
Colorado State.
Love him. Follow him on Instagram if you can. Give him some love. He's fantastic. He
He
lost
was
weight to play football. He doesn't get on the field enough, in my opinion, to get noticed. I hope he does, because I love watching. I love watching his fucking workout videos and stuff. It's great. Yeah,
well,
he
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 is.
messed with Onosato's mind. It
Yeah, he
was
did.
beautiful. I literally said that in the crowd. I was watching. You see them like looking, like
He
getting
pulled
down
that
to each
Edo
other.
move.
They stand up, and then Honda just kind of skipped back a few steps, and you
Yep.
see Onosawa go, oh, okay.
That is literally what happened to me at Nationals this year with Edo.
Yeah.
You look like it like you're I
It's
guess you're
suddenly it's you're thinking, instead of just going, I'm gonna do my tachi, now you're having to think about how you should do this
distance.
person.
Yeah,
Not
yeah,
your sumo, but like dealing with their sumo suddenly,
yeah.
which is
I
what
hate
happened.
that.
Hana won heavyweight, and it was a beautiful thing. Because I remember saying, like, oh, more than likely, Onosada's going to win. And then to this guy, he was a big wrestling fan. There's a lot. Sumo was sold out in Alabama for Worlds because there's a lot of
Yeah.
wrestling fans in Alabama.
And now we're
But
not back at Worlds anymore.
I don't
Yeah.
want to talk about that. It still makes me angry. We'll do a whole episode about that sometime. Not episode, but like we'll do that in some episode. If you ask us, we will talk about it. We were there.
A whole sport ruined by a person. Or
A few
two.
people.
Yeah.
One country.
Yes.
But so I remember saying, like, yeah,
Anyways.
Alonso's probably gonna win this. Yeah, he's freaking awesome. And then I saw the Hana guy step back, and I was like, okay. And then the match happened, and I was like, I got screaming. I was so excited. That was so awesome. It was fantastic.
It was very clever.
That was the weekend we first saw him freaking wrestle on Osato, and now we get to say that he is a Yokozuna, and that is fucking awesome. And now he did 14-1, which feels like a Yokozuna. As
And
much as
he
I love
only
talking
lost. He only lost to the current
current
Yokozuna.
Yokozuna, which
He had
was
to let him
we'll get
know
into that
real
because
quick.
that was really great.
He
But
had to let
what
he
I
put
want to say was the issue I had with a lot of the not Yokozunas, but a lot of people who were buying for Yokozuna, including my favorite boy Taka Show, was while they get 12 and 13 wins, and this is Hoshoyu too, you don't see them get the 14, 15 wins. So to see, and I want to say that about Onosato too, but to see Onosato get a 14-1 made me go, that feels like a Yokozuna.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes, yes.
I
It's very well. The sumo's
It was
final.
fast. This wasn't like Haas, where it took a few days for people to like talk about it.
Ah,
But
they
this is
knew.
like
They said, duh. They probably all met and go, all right, duh, bye.
the way it works, guys. The way it works is the Shinpan. This is for Ozeki and Yokozuna. The Shinpan make the first. Hey, we think this guy needs to be promoted. So the Shimpan, who the guys you see who judge, who get up and walk and do the Monoi, they get together as a group and say, we think this guy should be a Yokozuna. And for Yokozunas, it goes to the YDC then at that point, who go, I think he should be. And then it goes to JSA, and the JSA makes the final decision. Though if it ever gets to JSA, I've never seen them not say no
Right.
to
It's already
somebody.
gone past level one, level
You
two.
got past two levels, JSA is gonna be like, yeah, okay.
If the Shimpan says yes, then yeah.
Yeah, the YDC sometimes says no, but that's usually because they see something that they don't like in the guy. That's
Yeah.
why they're there. That's the only thing.
But who doesn't love Onosato?
And like I said, this was
He's
so solid. A
untarnished.
14-1, two tournaments in a row. He looked like a Yokozuna.
He never had a demotion in his career. The kid
And
came
I
in
looked
as
this
Makuchika.
up.
Huh?
Because that was really interesting to me. And I looked this up because like I said, he only had so many tournaments because he got to start so high.
He jumped
So I was
in
looking through
because
a
of his
bunch of
win.
Yokozunas. The closest one I found was Musashi Maru, who, and I don't have the stats up in front of me at the moment. Sometime in Jododan or something, he like won, and then one record he went like 4-5 or something like that. No, it's seven, so 3-4.
Mm.
And then he got demoted like two spots. But after that, nothing but wins until I became a Yokozuna years later. And that was kind of cool because it was a much slower rise for him. He didn't like run through people. He just didn't lose.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
look at his record. That's also pretty awesome. But that's the closest one. That was one demotion in his career. And then we got Donosana, no demotions ever. That's
No
fucking
demotion ever. Just an upward trajectory. And now and I'm sure, a lot of Japanese are very excited to have that the dark cloud of the Mongol Empire has been lifted, I guess. If that's, but I mean, Mongolians are the shit, and they've, and so, secretly what
and
they're thinking.
they're easy to get in because it's harder to get other countries to come in and do this with the way they have it set up now. Mongolians are easier to get in, and they're great wrestlers. So
Yeah,
it's like
they,
a
they
lot of
have a
people.
great wrestling culture.
They have a
Um,
great wrestling culture because they're closer to Japan because they're in the Asia area. They just if they find like people like in high school, hey, this guy
yeah,
has a lot of talent. They pay for them to do high school in Japan or college in Japan,
yep.
and then those guys who are really good in that
Oh,
become pros, and it works really well for them, which is hard to do than like say the Pacific Islanders who used to kick ass
hmm.
or the Eastern Europeans who internationally is kicking ass. It's much easier to do with Mongolians. So
Yeah. Well,
they're messing fucking shit
we
up.
finally we do. Speaking of Pacific Islanders, we do have one American in this.
I'm very happy about that.
Follow his journey. I really hope he lives up to his family history, but I don't know. We'll
I think
see.
he
We'll
will.
just see. Yeah, it'd be
Or at least
nice.
okay, Grant, I don't know, but he looks physically talented. So for me, I think it's gonna be more about mental. If he comes up.
Now that because what the last few years we've gone through kind of these weird slumps with Yokozunas and stuff like that, and a lot of injury like Yokozuna and Ozeki. We've gone through a dark time of just injury prone people. And I'd like to get back to the kind of sumo like when Hakuho was at his peak, and their little trifecta dynasty of him, Harama Fuji and Kakuryu,
I
and
don't.
with Ozeki's that stayed for fucking ever, like Goedo. That was for me was peak, but I
For
feel
me,
like
it was not. It was the least favorite time of sumo.
I was on a
It was the
high.
era that I had a hard time watching because I can look at it and go, yeah, one of these guys are gonna win.
Yeah, it
That was
felt
so boring. How is
because
that exciting for you?
because you
How
knew
do you
they were
go
gonna
through
do it,
any
but it was like,
sport
how
goes
are you
through?
gonna do it? That's why. Because like
They're
they're
gonna
the
win.
greatest of all time.
No, he's just gonna win.
It's
Like
like watching. It's like watching Michael
I liked the
Jordan.
Hawaiians and the Japanese going at it back in the day. And there
Okay.
was like there was like a dozen people who were going to win that sucker. Like there was a lot of people who had a good chance to win. They had Crapo Zekis and Yokozunas who all were like had a shot to win. I mean, they
That's,
had
that's
one
great.
in
I
90, what
just
was it, 98, where they had a five-way playoff because there was nothing but badasses everywhere. Then what are you gonna do?
but then there's one
One
that's left
guy just
out of
kicking
the
the shit out of
whole.
people is boring to me, and it's boring. It just is. It's and that's
Right.
fine. I know people went into they started watching then. They didn't watch back in the '90s like me, but I like competition. I've
I
enjoyed the last few years.
loved it. I
What
like to
you
see
call
dominance, and I like to see people like when I like watching Michael Jordan back in the day when I was a kid, watching like just these people who were almost godlike figures, and you knew they were gonna do it, but it was like, how are they gonna do it? And just I don't know. I was riding on cloud nine, and I feel like we're getting back to an era of high quality, like Ozeki slash Yokozuna
I
ish. Hopefully,
truly hope you are wrong. I have loved the last few years since Hakuho's retired or when he's been hurt. Of I don't know who's going to win.
I
I
don't
don't know who's going to kick the
that
shit
much
out of people this week.
uncertainty. You need a leader. You need a leader on
You
on
can
the
have a
board.
leader. I honestly think we had leaders. I just don't think you knew. You never freaking knew who was going to just have a
Sure.
great tournament. Who's going to come out of nowhere. You're not going to have a dark horse anymore if we go back to that time. You, out of everybody I know, loves the dark horse. Like, oh my God, this guy's
Well,
coming.
yeah. I mean, every now and then, that's why I liked when, like, yes, you had the King of the Ring, but then also there were times when the King of the Ring got knocked down
Who?
by
Who?
an unlikely
Who?
person, like a Gonayama, or what's
No. Back in the days you're talking about when the three big Mongolians were killing it. Who?
yeah,
Who? Which dark horse came out of nowhere and had a fantastic tournament?
Gonayama. Ichi Yamamoto beat the King of the Ring. All these like I love seeing these matches like that. Like
I'm
fucking
talking about back in like 10, 15 years ago when you were talking about like your favorite time of sumo. The
that's why
guys you just named are now fighting now. I'm talking about then. When was the
no
dark horses then?
Goedo is not fighting. He's retired.
I know
Goedo.
Guido is, but you said Gonayama.
No, I meant
Then you said
sorry.
Ichi Yamamoto. Those are two wrestlers who are fighting now.
I meant Snorlax. Fuck, I don't know. Ichis are all the same. Fuck. Snorlax.
Did
Uh
he win the tournament? I don't think he did he?
didn't win a tournament. I'm saying like when they beat the best. Like
I
for
don't want someone who
the
just
most.
wins a match. I want to see someone just kill it and win the whole thing.
Oh,
I find that
also
exciting.
Kotoshogiku. He was the shit. Like he was the shit. I don't know. And he coined a I mean he like mastered a certain style, and at his peak people just could not keep up with that barrage that he would do. After a while, like when he got a little older, it kind of fell off a bit. But damn, Kota Shogiku was the shit. And that was a time period when they still stopped fucking with people and let them do their almost like WWE like preps. Everybody had cool
They
things
still
that they
have them. It's
do.
just not as noticeable as it used to be. They had to tone it down. They still
They don't
have.
let them do it as much anymore.
They,
Like,
yeah, they make it. They
tell
tone
me,
the tone down.
remember fucking Asakoryu just whoa, like it was like it's I don't know. They got all hype up in the camera, and it got the whole crowd hype and shit. Fucking Takayasu used to do his little
Well,
bear shoulder
that
shrug.
was him. That wasn't the JSA. That was him. He didn't. When he started losing, he felt like he shouldn't do it anymore. That was him.
Well, and then Kota Shogiku, his whole like it looked like he was like powering up from the fucking like thunder was gonna come into his body. He would do that whole back bend like this, like a and I remember well, he's a little more recent, but Salt Bay.
All Bay.
We don't have a Salt Bay anymore. Nobody wants to entertain us by taking a mountain of salt and be like, ugh. That shit was wild. I
It
would have
was wild. I liked when they focused on it. Nato Sumo would do that little thing where the screen would be covered with look like snow, and then they wiped it off. That was a cool little edit for Nato Sumo, and I'm proud that he did
I
that.
always wondered if you're the person having to fight him, if you're like, damn it, bro. Like, because all that salt there, you're just like, you almost want to just
It can be
kick it all
slippery too.
in.
Yeah, people don't think about that. Okay, so we only have about
Anyway,
10 minutes left, so we're going to talk about the
oh
dark,
shit.
dark thing.
Yeah, it's almost time.
We
Uh,
were originally going to record this in the middle of last week,
yeah.
and then we heard the news that y'all probably heard if you're a big sumo fan of Hakuho trying to retire at that point in time. At that point in time, he returned in his resignation letters, and it got rejected. And then everybody was curious what was going on. What turned out was going on is he didn't feel like it was right that in a few days the beta that he is under for his punishment is going to go
With
over to
punishment.
is about to go over to Terano Fuji, and someone
His underling.
is
Which
yeah
is
an underling.
wild.
And so he was like, no, because he, from
That's the final
sources, he was
straw.
thinking about this since March. He'd been thinking about retiring because he was just so annoyed.
Well, I mean, honestly,
Was
he's
that
been under pressure to like by a lot, like several people, like people like Harama Fuji, like the Takano Hana, a bunch of people who were just like who basically, I mean, they're just like, fuck the JSA, like they're control freaks, and they have been out like gunning for him. They have been
yeah?
gunning for Hakuho, and in so many ways to like what do you call it? Belittle him, and just keep like knocking him down emotionally and mentally and I but
Ishigawa Stable is what
it
it's
feels
called.
like it just feels like pure, and again, I don't know all the details, but it feels like pure jealousy in the fact that, but there's something you can never take away from him. Never, ever,
True.
ever, ever. He is the greatest of all time. I'm sorry. What it like, and sure, is he bold about it? And I know Japan doesn't like, they have a whole saying like of the nail that sticks out gets hammered in. I know Japan culture doesn't like those like
That's
individuals.
where I was about to go with this. Let me go with this real fast because
I just
Chris
annoy
Sumo
me.
made a point about this, and because a lot of people online are talking about it's being racist, and then that's the easy thing to go to
Not
because
racist, but
we know Japan is very racist. A lot of big countries are like powerful countries. They become pretty racist, and they are. But this, I think it might be, but I think it has more to do with what you just said. The Because if you look, someone talked about, I forgot who it was, the reporter in Japan said, "Hey, in the last 11 Yozekis, we lost six of them
think so.
ahead of time, starting with Akibono, who was like, I can't stand with these strict people. We lost both of the Ohana brothers, Waka and Taka Ohana, because they couldn't stand how strict Seth was. On and on. Like people who were just like, and they were all the guys who were like bigger than life.
Yes. But here's the thing, those on the JSA, like people who are in power and a lot and just any business in general. This is why a lot of businesses, and I know this just, being married to, Japanese and going to Japan all the time and understanding Japanese culture on the darker side, not just with, people who go to Japan on the tourist side of things, like ooh, you see the shiny happy people. No, things move, especially like governmental things, business things move slowly, and that's just the way Japan is. Like they take incremental, very slow incremental progressive steps, because it's like if it isn't broke, don't fix it. And
Yeah,
if
you
they've
can see
already
some of the
taken the
crazy
time to,
shit they have, some of the crazy laws they have on paper still.
they still use fax machines.
Yeah,
Everybody thinks that Japan is so, is so technologically advanced, this and that. They just barely started allowing like actually tap to pay things outside of tapping your, Suica card.
yeah.
Like,
So it's who they are. JSA is worse than most of it because they feel they are in the position
and
to
it's like,
to
whoa,
try to
whoa,
have
whoa, don't
sumo
rock
never
any
change.
boats. Don't rock any boats. No, no,
And
no.
for some point, I mean, I get them at some point because you don't want sumo to change too much, but you gotta also
Right.
remember sumo has changed a whole lot over the time. It used to be two tournaments a year for centuries. and then they went up to 4, and then they went up to 6. Big
It's an
change. It used to be a
incremental.
smaller ring, but then when guys got better at Oshi, the matches were too freaking short. So they made the ring a little bit bigger to make the matches go faster. I
Yeah.
mean, last longer, I should say. You know,
And
they made changes.
I will say, it's a double-edged sword because I do respect that Japan is, is stubborn in their ways of keeping tradition because over the centuries they have been able to preserve Japanese culture. Yes, I
Yes,
understand it. It is an
which
island
is
nation.
totally awesome in some ways.
I love that. I love that. But in a time like now with technology just surpassing like regular human thought, uh there are there's way here's the thing. Look at us. So, people who are sumo fans.
Yeah,
I don't know why Japan makes it so hard for people
for
outside Japan to
to be sumo fans.
be sumo fans. We have to do that, and only in recent years has it been easier to access because the internet is wild. But like,
Yeah,
but it
true.
could. But honestly, if you had full coverage and easy ways for us to like, dude, we have subscriptions to all kinds of things, anime
Yeah, I
and
would love a
blah
subscription to
blah.
sumo.
I
Are
will
you kidding me?
gladly give you my monies. Just do it right. I don't want us. And I'm, no disrespect to you, Maury, and all that. Like, those are great and entertaining for quick. If I'm watching the review in the morning, like for breakfast or something. But I want to see the full thing, not
Yeah,
just the highlights.
not just the highlights.
If you do that, all you got to do is that.
If you had a sumo channel, I'd pay for that. Like they
It
have
would make
football and baseball
so
channels,
much
soccer
money.
channels. I would pay for a sumo channel myself. Like I'd pay a lot of money for that because I would listen to the content all the time. I watch classic stuff that you have coming on. I watch. I would do everything, and you'll have the ability because you'll have the footages
I
going
know,
back to like the 30s. You'll have
but
much.
here's the thing, and that's again Japanese culture. They know they can, but they also want to preserve, and they want it to just be in to predominantly be experienced by Japan.
I
Uh,
understand. I understand. It would still would be
Everybody
that.
else is secondary. Everything else is secondary.
It still
So
would be that. Just I understand. I understand. And but
yeah, yeah.
it's just a thing that we losing some of these guys who could be good teachers. They could be. I don't know if they would be because just because you're great at something doesn't mean you are great coaching it. I think Hakaho might have been. I know Takano Hano was before he left. He was a fantastic coach,
Yeah.
and then he left because of stuff.
He said, "Fuck this, Akimono."
And so I don't know. We're gonna lose some people just because they're a little different and they're a little crazy. And I don't know what you're gonna do. You should keep relationships. Uh, though, if you are that kind of different person, maybe you should do like uh Konishiki did, where he just went, "Look, guys, I'm just leaving because I am different." And he just sold his thing like this was early
Yeah.
on. He just sold it back and was like, and so he still has a good relationship with Sumo because he's like, I'm a little too free spirited for this.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
He
yeah,
loves
yeah.
he loves sumo. He loves working hard. He loves all that stuff.
And as
They
for
just
those who
know
are Kominsky
he's not gonna be
fans,
a guy wearing a suit. He's not gonna
yeah,
be the
no,
guy
he
being
dyes his
quiet in the corner.
hair
Yeah,
crazy.
he's a
He's a
little too outspoken. So he knew, and he left early. So maybe it's a little bit on the wrestlers who should know, like, hey, I can't deal with this. Walking Ohana kind of the same thing. He was like, I know I can't deal with this. I'm just leaving now.
yes, yeah, 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 yeah.
But
Well, I hope Hakuo has an awesome new journey. I know there's a lot of people, and there's a lot of people secretly on the JSA who can't admit it, but they will be. They are huge fans of his.
there was a lot of people who
I
said this
have
was not cool.
dude, he's got a great business sense. Number one, just like Konishiki.
Yeah,
And I just know, and then he knows enough people with deep pockets. He'll continue to do the Hako Cup. Who knows? He
which
might
is going to
just put
be,
on
in my opinion, his biggest legacy, even bigger than him being the goat.
mhm,
Is the Hakaho Cup gets children, which has been a hard
thousands of
thing,
kids all
gets
over the world.
children into it.
Yes.
This is hard. It's the hardest thing, even in Japan itself,
Yes.
where they mostly want to go play baseball or soccer or American football is becoming a huge thing over there. They want to go play all
Yes.
these things. And they don't want
And
to do sumo
basketball.
anymore.
Shit, dude.
And basketball, because basketball's like becoming much bigger over there. Yes.
Fuck. But he's keeping sumo
He's
alive,
keeping
bringing
sumo alive.
thousands of kids, and you can't stop that.
You
Say
can't
it,
stop
say it.
that. And I don't
Can't
think they
stop
will
that.
because they I think even I
That's
think
counterintuitive to what to your whole existence. If you don't get a new crop of kids excited about sumo, you're not gonna have a job anymore.
yeah. Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
you
you
know,
gotta have we have wrestlers because it used to be about 900 wrestlers, and then it was like 700, and I think now it's just over 600 in the
yep.
pros. And I'm like, okay, you can't tell
And
me.
I'll be damned if sumo dies out like geisha culture.
Yeah,
It's not that fuck that.
but
So,
sometimes things they do die out, but I don't want someone to die out anytime soon.
oh
Just
no.
like I've been worried about baseball lately because I don't even like modern day baseball, but I'm like, I don't know, but it's still baseball. You still want your kids to go play little league. You know, it's an
Right.
American thing. You want your kids to do that if they can, at least 1 year just to try it.
Yeah.
Okay,
Anywho,
a lot of
let's wrap it
emotion
up.
here. We're gonna stop soon before we just ramble on for hours.
I know. And I've got somewhere to
We
be.
do want to do more episodes this month if we can. We're gonna try to do a thing talking about amateurs, and we're gonna try to do other episodes in Sake and Sumo because we have a lot of stuff we want to talk about that we're not been getting to lately, and we will try. It's not
Yes.
as easy. We're very busy. Both of us are important and are really important in our local clubs. Shit,
Yes.
Justin's the founder of his, so
It's
and we got a lot of people. I
very
got
good unpaid job.
we got guy. We both are coaching people who are in the Team USA. We both, we got a lot of stuff to work on.
Yep.
But we will try to do more episodes and we'll talk more about sumo. If there's a topic you want us to talk about, let us know. We're happy to do it for you because we like
Next
talking about
week we
sumo.
talk amateur sumo.
Yeah, we want to talk a little bit about
Let's do it.
American
Let's fucking do
sumo.
it.
And I'm going to finish off this rum and coke because I love talking sumo and drinking with my boy Justin.
Thank you.
If there's any of that
Anytime.
left, I want to try it too because it looks good.
Okay. I'll save half the bottle. This is for me and
I don't
you.
know when I'll get to see you because I can't. I want to come up to practice next weekend, but we need to work on the dojo, the clay dojo.
I'm gonna come. You know what? I have to see my mom Friday. I will just come see you Saturday then.
Okay,
If you
come down Saturday if you want to work on the dojo a little bit, like a couple of
okay.
hours or something.
Okay.
Cool. All right.
All right. I'll say the rest of this for you.
Get your sumo on.
You. Mm. Ooh.